Good evening. This is CTV News for this Tuesday, October 15th. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Makia Turner. Glad to have you with us tonight.
Well, Democratic gubernatorial candidate Doug Gansler is now hitting the campaign trail with his running mate after announcing Jolene Ivey as the pick.
That's right. The 51-year-old Prince Georgean County delegate, mother and wife, says she's ready to fight for the voiceless. Denise Douglas has been talking with her and joins us in studio with more.
Hey there, ladies. Kind of interesting. The primary for this race isn't until next year, until June, but it is definitely heating up. Jolene Ivey says she's excited about being a part of Doug Gansler's gubernatorial ticket. If elected, there are a number of issues they will be working on, bringing jobs, more jobs to Maryland, and closing the achievement gap. Ivey, you'll probably recognize her, has been a Maryland delegate since 2007. She is also the mother of 5 boys and wife of former state's attorney Glenn Ivey. In picking her as a running mate, Gansler praised her as someone who has a history of fighting discrimination and making a difference in people's lives. The issue of race reared its head early on in this campaign when Gansler reportedly said that Anthony Brown, his opponent, wanted to be governor solely to be the first African-American in that job. So we asked Ivey about being an African-American and what it will mean for their campaign.
I think that it would be a great thing to have a woman in the position to be able to bring a different viewpoint to the state. And so we've certainly had Kathleen Kennedy Townsend as lieutenant governor, and she did a great job. I'll bring a new perspective because not only am I a mom, I am in fact African American, so that does give you a different lens to look through. And the more people who have input as to what's going on in the state, the better and stronger our state is.
If elected, Jolene Ivey would be the first African-American woman to serve as Lieutenant Governor of Maryland. In addition to Brown and Gansler, Heather Mazur is the other Democrat in the race to be Maryland's next governor. She hasn't announced her running mate yet, though, so we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Now, there were some allegations over the weekend of reckless driving, was it not, with Doug Gansler? Fill us in on that.
Basically, what the report is by the Washington Post is that he abused his police escort powers that were given to him. And he today, of course, went on the circuit talking about it and saying, dismiss them, saying that they're made up by people who want to distract from the race.
Okay, lots more things we'll be hearing about in the future on this.
Keep us posted. All right, thank you, Denise. Well, County Executive Sharon Baker says it's no secret that this area is the motherlode of votes in the Democratic primary. Baker, who has yet to endorse a candidate, says having both Ivey and opponent Anthony Brown in the race means county issues will be heard. Baker has a close personal relationship with the delegate and is godfather to one of her sons. He says he has a lot of respect for Ivey, pointing to her influential role in the passage of his school takeover plan.
So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for Prince Georgean County. Our voters, pay very close attention to what's going on, and this will be another great race for us.
Will you be endorsing a candidate?
I will.
And who will that be?
You'll know when I endorse the candidate. It won't be for some time now. I want to talk to each and every team. Certainly, I've seen Doug Gansler has rounded out his team. Heather has not announced who her running mate is going to be. But there's some issues.
Baker says before making an endorsement, he wants to talk to all 3 teams about issues like transportation, education, and support for the new hospital.
A Senate deal is in the works to reopen the federal government with only 2 days until the U.S. can no longer borrow money to pay its bills. But the agreement would only keep the government open through January 15th and allow the Treasury to borrow money until February 7th. That would ease the dual crisis temporarily, but not long term. Meantime, House Republicans came up with their own bill, saying the Senate version did not go far enough to rein in President Obama's health care law. The White House quickly dismissed that proposal, calling it a partisan attempt to appease a small group of Tea Party conservatives. The government shutdown is now in its 15th day, and new study by the personal finance company Wallet Hub says Virginia is feeling the biggest impact of the shutdown. The district comes in at number 4 and Maryland at number 6. A Bowie man sentenced to 41 years in prison for sexually abusing a young boy in his home and at a community pool is now facing a new trial on other charges. Michael Brochu is charged with 21 counts of sexual offenses and child abuse for allegedly molesting multiple boys ages 6 to 11. Jury selection began this morning and opening arguments are expected in the afternoon. Roche was convicted of similar charges in June related to a separate victim who came forward in August 2012 with accusations of abuse that occurred between 2011 and 2012. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Nakia Turner.